So hi all, welcome to Diversified Finance. My name is Lakal. So another Sunday. So last week we had a pretty good session, and the recorded session I've already uploaded on my Diversified Finance YouTube channel, and I shared it like on the group. So today we got a lot to go through. As usual, we're going to start from investor attitude. And then Shayan's going to go through superannuation as part number 2, and we will discuss about ISOs. And after that, as usual, we're just going to look at the traditional markets, Dow Jones, NASDAQ, gold, silver, and finally we look at Bitcoin price action and also some hot altcoins. So whether regardless we're going to get into the market right now, is it a good time to get in or get out, or should we hold? So all that, yeah. So let's under investor attitude. This is something I discussed probably few months ago when we had that 55% correction from 65,000 to 30,000. Like nobody expected that. So I think it's more important to go through them again, like which we should do in that kind of scenario. Having said that, I'm not saying I'm expecting Bitcoin to go down by 50%, given that there's so much greed at the moment. Everybody's expecting higher prices, and a lot of people are waiting to see 100K Bitcoin in December. It might not happen. It might happen. So let's go through them again, like just to have like a try not to get carried away with all this bullishness in case if it goes the other way and something happened that you were not expecting, that you've been expecting for some time, then it'll be like a bit of a worry. So how to have like a level-headed in this kind of market, given that these markets are very volatile. If the share market goes down, it'll affect the Bitcoin price and other altcoins. So let's quickly go through them. So let me share the screen now. Okay, so I hope everyone can see. No, it should be this one actually. Can you see the screen now? The Word document.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So this is, if you've been in our group for some time, like you've probably seen this before, but I just modified this and I've added some, like just to make sure that we get we understand what I'm trying to explain here. So as you can remember, there was a 55% drop from 60K to about 30,000 or something back in May, end of May, like third week of May or so. So there was nobody expected that. Everybody was expecting the price to go higher. So that's when we knew, like, because when Bitcoin drops like 50%, we've seen all coins drop a lot harder. So the first point is it's always better to have 50% Bitcoin in our portfolio. So in case there's like a bigger correction, even though Bitcoin drops, say Bitcoin might drop say 20-30%, but all coins will drop a lot harder, right? So it's the other way around. When it goes up, you might not get much money out of holding a lot of Bitcoin, but from all coins holding, especially like mid cap, low cap, all coins, you probably be able to 2x, 3x your money. But it's the same thing other way. When the market goes down, you tend to lose a lot of money by holding a lot of altcoins. So that's why we need to have at least 50%, 50 to 60% in your portfolio should be in Bitcoin in your long-term portfolio. So that's point number one. Point number two, even say you have let's say you have like a long-term perspective, and then you plan to buy Bitcoin and other altcoins, including Ethereum, and planning to hold it for like a long time. But sometimes we've seen the market fluctuates a lot, especially the crypto market is very volatile. You'll see 30-40% corrections within a day, within 24 hours or so. So just to make money from those fluctuations, we could have 85% for long term. So you buy, say you accumulate during a bear market, and 85% of that portfolio is for long term, meaning you're planning to hold it for maybe a year or two, or likewise. But on the other hand, 15% you just have like small cap coins, or coins that you think that you can make a quick buck, and then try to sell it like when it goes up. Let's say it's like going up by 2, 3, 4, 5x. Then it gives you the chance, like, to sell these altcoins and get like, make a quick buck, and like, maybe 2x, 3x your money. And then you can use that money to accumulate more Bitcoin and Ethereum. So that's like a long strategy that I've been using for a long time. Always like have a overall, you look at your overall portfolio, 85% for long term, 15% for like short term gains. But right now, given that we are halfway through the bull market, maybe it's not the right time, like to plan for like a long term. Like, maybe this bull market might last for another year or so, and then we might see like a bigger bear market. So that's what I'm expecting. So, but back when we go back into bear market, you can use this as well and have 85% in Bitcoin and large cap, Ethereum and large cap, and 15% like, just to make a quick trade here and there, if that's what you want to do. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. 100% for long term. You're gonna make sure that you hold them for more than 12 months, and then you sell and take profit, and then you can pay capital gain tax instead of paying a lot of tax. Like, because if you're not going to hold it for more than 12 months, you end up paying a lot of tax. So that's number 2. Number 3, during a bull trend, take profit during every 1 to 5% profit you need to take during every pump. As you know, there are like, you might see Bitcoin keeps on pumping, the whole market keeps on pumping for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So when you're in that kind of scenario, it's not a bad thing, like, just to take like 1 to 5% profit. Like, you won't even feel it. Just in case, like, you take some profit out, like, we do that expecting like for market to have a bit of a correction. So if you sell on the way up, let's say you sell 1 to 5% and take some money out and have some USDT. So you have enough USDT just in case there's like a correction, you can use that money to accumulate more Bitcoin. So that's why during profit taking is very important. During a bull trend, if it's bull trend means like you might see a trend, like, upward trend for like a month or 6 weeks or so. And if you see something like that, that's very important to take profit, 1 to 5% profit, so that if there's a market, say for example, recently we've seen Bitcoin shot up to like 67, and now it dropped to like 62 or so. So if you've taken a bit of 1 to 5% profit at the top, now you have like some USDT set aside just to get back in, like to buy back during a dip. So that's something you can. That's something I've been doing for some time, so which is like not a bad thing, because even 5% selling 5%, you won't even feel it. The next day market goes up another 5%, it's as if nothing happened. So we can use this to take profit, and like, we're not gonna. It's only 5%, so even this 5% you can DCA sell. You're not gonna sell the 5% like as a whole. Instead, when you see 20% pump, you can sell like 1 to 2%, another 20% pump, 1 to 2%. So likewise, you can DCA sell this 5% as well. And point number 4, don't wait for your low cap, micro cap to hit 100x, because most probably might not happen. Yeah, this is very important. Like, for example, some low cap coins, we've seen we've been holding them for some time. It used to be, let's say, like cents, like a few cents, like 2, 3, 4 cents. And we've seen it's gone up like 50x, 20, 30x. So when you see that, it's very important to DCA sell. Because let's say you bought a coin for like, say, $1, and it goes to like $50, right? So you simply 50x your money. And then if you're expecting this coin to go to $100, so you're expecting 100x return because you bought this token at $1. But when it's at 50x, right, you are risking 50x gains just to double your money from there. So that's what we need to understand, which is very important. So you're risking 50x just to get 2x from there. So you bought this coin at $1, and now it has gone up to $50, right? So let's say you've been greedy and then you expect this to go to 100. So you simply expecting it to double. So to get 2x, but to get 2x, you're going to risk 50x because you've been holding it like from $1. So that's why when you, especially these micro caps, when you see it's gone up like 20x, take some profits out, DCSL, 30x, 40x, 50x, take some profit out, right? And then even at 50x, you can take some profit out, but you're not going to sell everything, but you probably buy, when it's hit like 50x, you probably have, let's say you have taken 60, 70% profit out of the market. And then, but you still have another 30%, 30 to 40%, if in case it goes to like, $100 from 50. So this is very important. So let's not risk just to get 2x, the 50x gain that you gained for the past year or like 6 months or so. So that's one thing really important as well. So the point 5 is, have 5 to 10% stable coins regardless of the market condition, in order to have enough buying power for a rainy day. Yeah, so this is pretty obvious. Like, this is what I always do, even though if I see a massive bull market, like even if I see Bitcoin, even if I'm pretty sure that Bitcoin's going to go to like say 70, 80,000, 100,000, regardless of the market condition, right? If it's a bear market, it's perfect to have, altcoins, so you can accumulate because Bitcoin will be a lot cheaper. But even during a bull market, I would still love to have stable coins like 10 to 15 to 15%, also 10 to 15%, just sitting aside in case if there's a correction, or if the market goes into a bear market also, you still have some firepower just to get back in. So that's really important as well. So there's nothing like that. I know the feeling like the market keeps on going up. You feel like, oh, I wish I went all in. But that if you do that, you are just pushing yourself like to one extreme. And if you do that, if you are wrong, and if the market goes the other way, right, then you don't have any, you cannot sell because the price has gone down, and then you cannot buy back in because you don't have USDC or stable coins set aside just to get back in. So that's something important as well. So always have some USDT regardless of the market condition, right? I mean, let's say you completely missed out. Let's say you got like 10% USDC and you completely missed out on a bull run. That's fine. You can use that money to buy gold and silver. You can use that to buy other assets, to accumulate other assets. So the whole point is having like a asset portfolio, right? So within that asset portfolio, we have a crypto portfolio. Maybe like you allocate 10, 20, 30% of your money within the bigger asset portfolio that you have. So if you missed out on Bitcoin and other altcoins, that's fine. You can take that out and go and buy physical gold, silver. You can invest that money in the share market, or you can start a business or something like that. So it's okay to always hold stable coins just to DCA buy any kind of asset. It doesn't need to be always Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Yeah, so point number 6, have a long-term strategy, and let's not try to make a massive amount of money in 2 days. Yeah, this is important. This is pretty obvious. So we are in this game for a long term, like at least 12 months, 6 to 12 months and beyond. It is a highly volatile market and it's a quick market. So 12 months means like it could be compared to share market. It's equivalent like maybe 3, 4, 5 years, right? Because this market moves like very quick. Yeah, so number 6. Yeah, so I think I missed number 6. So don't panic sell or panic buy. Buy the dip to accumulate more Bitcoin. This year, buy and sell. Yeah, always. So whenever you want to sell or buy, never go all in or never go all out. Always don't panic sell. Like let's say you're holding one coin, all of a sudden it drops, say 50%. And that's not the time to sell. That's too late to sell, right? Because if you see a coin has dropped like 30, 40%, that's not the correct time to sell. Like that means everybody's selling at that time. You just rather sit back and wait and let it come back to the come back to retest this resistance. I'll discuss this during while we're looking at the charts. Every time you see like a massive sell-off, it's not going to go like keep on going down, like it'll hit like oversold levels and it'll start back up and try to retest the resistance, and that's the time to get out if you want to get out from there. And if it's when everybody's selling, that's not the time to sell. You just set back. And when everybody's buying, that's not the time to buy. You look at the RSI. If it has gone to like overbought territory, you're not going to get in. You just relax and let RSI cool down a bit, and then you can get back in. So panic buying and selling is not recommended at all. So have a long-term strategy. We just discussed that. And then number 8, have a diversified crypto portfolio. This is very important, right? So 50%, 50 to 60% in a portfolio has to be Bitcoin, 20% Ethereum. The other 20 to 30%, you can accumulate large cap, mid cap, small cap, micro cap, likewise. Because as I said, if you have 50 to 60% Bitcoin in a portfolio, if the market drops, if Bitcoin drops like 20%, 30%, you still like 50% of your portfolio will be down by 20%, but altcoins will go down a lot harder. The other 50% or the 40% could go down by 30, 40%, because when Bitcoin drops 20%, altcoins could drop like 40, 50%. Because as we seen right now, we haven't seen some of the large caps still they're struggling to go back up to all-time highs, but Bitcoin has already gone above all-time highs. Now it's having a bit of a correction. So it's very important to have Bitcoin in your portfolio and Ethereum. Majority of your portfolio should be in Bitcoin and Ethereum. So that's number 8. Number 9, have a diversified asset portfolio. Yeah. So let's not forget, this is not all about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Like there are other assets in this world. So every time when you make money from cryptocurrencies, right, you can take some profit out and diversify among other asset classes. For example, let's say Bitcoin has gone up and then altcoins, you made a lot of money from altcoins. You take some profit out and then you go and buy physical gold, physical silver, and you invest some in the share market, look for like, blue chip coins, blue chip shares, sorry. And the energy sector, like, commodities, like because of the inflation which we have right now, we're already seeing it right now. We've seen commodity sector has been doing really well. So you can take some profit out, diversify among other asset classes, and have like a diversified asset portfolio, right? So when you look at crypto portfolio, within that crypto portfolio, you have your asset coin tokens or currencies or coins diversified, right? Within that crypto portfolio, you have Bitcoin, Ethereum, large cap, mid cap, small cap, likewise. So you diversify in that, and that's just for the crypto portfolio. But when you look at your asset portfolio, again, you need to have it also diversified. Like you have a few type of asset classes: gold, silver, Bitcoin shares, likewise. So that's important as well, because it's very important to have a diversified crypto portfolio and a diversified asset portfolio, just to mitigate risk. In case, let's say Bitcoin drops like 50, 60% and it goes into bear market, that's still fine, right? Your overall wealth is not going to go down by 50% because you hold other assets. So the Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies is probably, let's say it's only 20 to 30% of your overall asset portfolio. So if it goes down by 20%, but it doesn't matter. Like, if you look at the overall portfolio, you might not feel much because you have other assets to cover your losses, right? Because I mean, it has to be like a really bad time for us to see all the asset classes like going down at the same time. So you're looking at some kind of a like World War III or something like that. When you see Bitcoin, gold, silver, share market, everything is going down at the same time, that means it's something bad. Unless that happens, but the probability of that is happening is like very less. It's highly unlikely. But unless you're in that kind of scenario, every time the Bitcoin price goes down, but that's fine. It doesn't matter much. You might make money, more money from share market, from shares. You might make money. So your physical gold and silver might go up in value. So even though you're losing money from Bitcoin, that doesn't matter. You can make some from other asset classes. So having a diversified asset portfolio is very important. And yeah, number 10, yeah, have a cap on your greed list about it. So as we know, I've done this many times, especially during the last bull market. My portfolio probably 20x. Like I invested, bought a lot of Bitcoin back in the day in 2017. It 20x within a matter of like a year, also within less than 12 months. But did I sell? No, I did not. Why? Because there's so much greed, right? Even though it's 20x, I did not take money out because I was expecting it to go a lot higher. So as I said earlier, right, you bought a coin at $1 and it has gone up to $50. So you 50x your money, but unfortunately, because we are, I mean, I was greedy. Because I was greedy, I was expecting, I was holding it to like, you know, a 2x. To make 2x, by doing so, I risk all the money that I've gained. I risked 50x just to gain another 2x, right? For example, I'm saying. So yeah, so it's very important that you have a cap on your greed. Like, you know, we cannot pick the bottom, the rock bottom. Nobody's gonna pick. You're not gonna sell everything at the very top. Like nobody can. I mean, no one knows. Like, you know, when that's gonna happen. So we need to understand what our capabilities, right? Capabilities. So as human beings, like, you know, we cannot know. We don't know what will happen tomorrow. Even if we cannot pick, even if you have a bit of idea, market's going to go down a bit, you cannot pick the very bottom. You cannot buy, like, you know, at the peak, at the bottom. Similarly, you cannot sell it at the top, very top. Nobody can do that. All we, like, you know, we are here to buy low and sell high and just make a bit of money. You know, we are here to make money at the end of the day. Like, you know, we don't need to get married to any of these asset classes. We are just here to make money. If you make 20, 30%, 40% from crypto, if you make 2x, 3x, 4x, let's not be greedy and take some money out and use that money to increase your wealth, increase your asset portfolio, buy other asset classes, or you can use it, like, you know, just to make your life a lot easier. If you want to pay off your debt, or if you want to pay off your car loan, you can use that and make your life easier, right? And then when you do that, you don't have to keep on paying repayments for your car, or you can reduce your home loan debt. So you cut a lot of interest out of that. So take some money out, make your life easier. That's the whole point of investing money. So yeah, I think that's it. I think I covered enough. If you have any questions, you can ask right now, unless we can move on to a next topic, which is Shehan's gonna discuss about superannuation, which is like a really good important topic. This is the second part. He has done another part a couple of weeks ago. If you have any questions, you can ask right now. If not, we can move on to next topic, where Callum will discuss about superannuation.
Hi all.
Okay. Yeah. So it looks like there's. Yeah. If you have any questions, maybe you can ask later. That should be fine. So yeah, Callum, sorry, Shehan, kindly take it away.
Yeah. Thank you. So I think that was a great visual absorption of investment. Thank you, Laka. How to stop your greed in a certain way. Look, talking about superannuation, we're trying to do this into 3 parts. As you said, it's a huge, vast information overload, actually, to do it in a small time frame. So in superannuation, the previous week that we talked about, it was about a little bit of an overview of what is a superannuation and what are the types of superannuations and so forth for you guys. Now, basically, I'd like to talk about today few topics, and one of the topics is lost super. So I want to talk about lost super. So basically, the lost super is, so what is lost super? Let's talk about this. Now, you may say, no, I haven't lost my super. It's there, like I can see my super's there. Like, what are you talking about, lost super? Well, to be honest, there are a lot of people don't know that there are superannuation funds that they started their life. They probably start with Macca's or, you know, some other small cleaning business or something that they've started in their career while they go to school or whatever that is, uni or something. And then they forget about it. They go to their new job and the employer gives you a form to fill up in ATO and whatnot. And, you know, employer says, do you have superannuation or whatever? You put whatever you want to put. They put the default super and you move on, right? As you move on, you think you got everything in your super, but actually there is a superannuation. Remember that you started with McDonald's or somewhere that is decreasing because the administration fees hits every time and you're not putting anything onto that superannuation. So that's what we're going to discuss about what is lost super and how much is totally impacting Australian economy and what people are missing out. What's the solution and what are the actions we can take off? Then we will look at what are the superannuation options after that. So we go to the next slide. You can see in Australia, there are about $13.5 billion in lost super. That means ATO got somewhere and they're in trust accounts and everything. It's stuck there. No one's using it. It's just there. Right now, I heard now it's going towards 14 billion. And this is why we need to put some attention on this, because that's your money working for you, right? Your hard-earned money. It is basically your retirement in most instances, right? So let's go to the next slide. So, look, can you go a little bit further, please? Yeah. So, and another one, please. No, go back. I'm sorry, guys. This you have to find. Yep. So basically, there are a few ways that you can work on superannuation in finding your lost super. Now, in the ATO website, which we'll put our link there, and I will put the link on Diversified Finance chat, and also probably here as well, I assume, local. So that I put the link there. Now you can go to ATO and get in 3 ways you can action this. So the first way is to go to your MyGov account and log into your account, and then in MyGov account, then you can select super and go and find your lost super. It's very straightforward, step by step, right? So this is one way you can find all your superannuation, because they track through your ATO number. So Australian taxation number would be your allocation of where you can find this pension. So they would find out, oh, you got it in Australian super, you got it in say first state super, and all these things they'll figure out, and you can combine into one super that you nominate. The next way, of course, is you can contact your superannuation fund and ask them, I want to get this lost super, and they would also help you out with doing the same process, but they will assist you. The other way is to call ATO. They will guide you step by step. If you're having hard time in going through MyGov account, just call ATO and they will lead you towards it. The other thing is, if you go to this link, the next step is to fill up a form. And there is actually an address in ATO where you can post that form. So you print out that form, fill everything up, and they will find your lost super and they'll communicate with you. So those are the 3 ways of getting your lost super back, right? So if you can go back again, Nicole. Yeah. So this one, I don't know if you can see properly, actually. Last time when we were talking about superannuation, I talked about a superannuation an initiative that the federal government has taken on board, which is basically they're trying to motivate employers, not motivate, actually it's a rule now, to say you can't give an employee, the new employee, a default super that you prefer. Basically what they have to do is they have to stick with whatever the superannuation that you have nominated to the government. Now it's called the staple super, staple somewhere, right? It's a staple super. Basically, the initiative starts from 1st of November to 2021. So as we speak, it's active now. So when you go to a new employer, the employer through the MyGov account or through I think ATO, they would figure out what's your staple super, and that would be your default super. So this will reduce in the future lost supers that you may get. So basically your superannuation fund, unless you change it, would travel with you throughout your journey of your career. So that's a very good initiative that the government has taken. So you don't need to go through all these fuss, right? Which is really good. So we go back to again, no, the other side. Yeah. So we go to the next. That's about lost super and staple super. Now I would like to talk about superannuation options that we have. Now, as you know, there are a lot of things that comes up in superannuation. When you start superannuation, they ask you a default, probably, you know, okay, this is our default portfolio. Basically, it's diversification of your assets as well in superannuation. So they would say, I would have 4% cash, this meant Australians as shares, bonds, international shares, and so forth, right? So now, when you do this, you have to be very careful in your risk levels. So you need to understand, where are you in your age, in your journey of your career? Do you want to take this much risk, and so forth? Depending on this scenario, you have to take proper idea of where you're going. Am I taking the high risk? Am I taking high risk because I want high return? Or I'm going to lose out because the international shares may fall down and everything's going on, I'm about to retire. Where are you now? So you have to be very careful in dealing with these things, understanding your situation, understanding your financial situation. You know, all these things matters, right? Now, if you go to the next slide, please. Yeah. So this one basically shows you about the risk against the return, basically. Now, as you can see, if you put like more into Australian shares or in alternative investments rather than cash, you get more return, you get higher return. But you need to also understand that as we go on in our journey. Now, for a great example would be, just imagine the situation, you put 100% Australian shares, right? Now, you don't have work because of COVID situation or whatever, and there are a lot of issues came up, and the government says that, you know, you're in a desperate time. Let me get you 20,000 from your super. How are you going to get that? You're going to get that in a minus form. You don't feel like grabbing it because you know the shares have gone down in a certain instant. But if you had certain proportion of cash, now cash would not be going down as much as Australian shares or whatever that is, right? So basically, you can make sure that you can grab from the cash portfolio rather than grabbing from the actual selling your Australian shares portfolio. So that would be something that you need to think in a rainy day. You need to do. So basically, please ensure that if you don't want to go through a lot of hassle, don't think of a lot of things, go with a balanced portfolio that will assist you in your future, right? Now, also to that, I would like to highlight there are other platforms as well. So, for example, myself, this is not a financial advice. I use this a lot, and that is example. Now, I'm not being paid by Australian Super to say this. Right? In Australian Super, they do have a platform called the trading platform, where you can allocate trading money from your superannuation, and then you can actually nominate to say, okay, this much goes to Telstra, this much goes, this much of money goes to CBA, and so forth. So you can have control in your super. You don't need to go through the hassle of self-managed super funds, which we discussed last time. You can do that in that platform. But I usually keep cash as well. So I get cash and the trading. So that's my way. But again, you can search that through your superannuation. If you've got some sort of platform like that, that would be an option. And that's not financial advice. You can check that. So thank you, Lakal, and thank you everyone for giving me this opportunity.
Okay, thank you, Shia. That was very informative. Like, you know, there's and like just a quick question, right? I mean, don't you think it would be better that you, like, it's not a, let's say if you don't want to do, you can either do self-managed super fund, right? Maybe we can discuss this probably next week. But apart from that, you can also tell your super, right? I want to have this much of amount, let's say 20% in high growth asset class, and maybe another 20% in the share market, another 20% in the international share market. So you can basically tell them where your money needs to be, like, so you can have like a diversified super asset portfolio So which is really good, right? Because what we've seen during the COVID dip, right? If you had 100% in your super in the share market, you would have probably lost like 30, 40% in a matter of like few months, few weeks. But if you had some cash, like say 50% in 20, 30% in cash, you could have asked them, especially during the dip, you could have said, okay, use all my cash and go back into the share market. And after that, we've seen like a massive growth of the share market. So you can use this kind of strategies like to increase your super, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely, Lakal. So that's something you can actually negotiate with your superannuation fund as well, which they may not, because they've tried to keep you with their time in their specific, asset classes, and this is their way. But you can always request that this is your money. But same time, it is very vital that you understand that with the market fluctuations, as you are in diversified finance channel, you can see a lot of changes. You can talk to Lakal and all this team here about, shares, and there are a lot of experts here on shares and charts and everything as well. So you utilize that that resource, and then you can obviously do that in your superannuation. Yes, you're right. Thanks.
Thank you, Sian. Okay, so next in Vick, I'm gonna discuss initial security offering. This is something new that I don't know much about it. So Vick, you can take it away and please explain to us what's an ISO. And
thanks, Lakal.
yeah,
sorry,
sure. And before we start, like, we need to make sure that this is not financial advice, right? Because this is something new, and we've gone through like a bigger ICO boom back in 2017, and we've seen some coins. You buy a coin at like 50 cents, and next thing we know, it goes to like $70, $80, and if you don't sell, like you probably see like a 95% correction, right? So if you can explain us like the risk of getting into these kind of new coins, that would be great. Thank you, Vick.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Lakal and Shian. Very informative. Yeah, so basically, I just been research. I think there may be some Cardano ADA holders in the group, so just some information for them. I think over the last couple of weeks, I've just been researching initial stake pool offerings and how it's done through the Cardano platform. So basically, there have been a couple of previous initial stake offerings. And basically the concept is, I'm not sure if back in the day we used to have ICOs where, you give over your Ethereum or Bitcoin in return for some coin, and these projects use your funds to basically progress and get moving. And the risk, there's obviously a lot of risk because they can run away with your money, and they can do whatever they, because it's, you basically send them your Ethereum or Bitcoin, and it's so which is basically a no-no these days, right? You never send anyone your Ethereum or Bitcoin. And in that sense, it's good. I think the market's matured now. People are way more smarter. They just don't want to give over their Ethereum and Bitcoin because they know how valuable it is, especially through bear markets. So basically, I just been researching Sunday Swap, which is a initial stake pool offering on the Cardano platform. Now, this is actually a decentralized exchange. Mm-hmm. And the idea is the idea, or hopefully what we can expect is, or we can be hopeful that hopefully this turns into the next Uniswap or Sushi Swap on the Cardano chain. So that's really the hope. And basically the way to get involved in this is you go to the Sunday Swap website, and I think for the next 2 or 3 days, you have to vote for your stake pool. And by voting, you don't actually send your ADA to anyone, you send it to yourself, which is very good. So obviously don't get scammed, don't send your ADA to anyone, send it to yourself. And it's pretty clear, the instructions on the Sunday Swap website. You just have to search for your stake pool operator, and it will generate a specific number, and you send that number to yourself via whichever platform you're using for your ADA. I believe you can, I think Yoroi or Daedalus and a few other wallets are accepted. So it's quite straightforward. I guess the beauty is you're not giving away your ADA. You're just purely voting for your stake pool. And after the 3-4 days, it'll be dependent on Sunday swappers who they choose to distribute or delegate their tokens through which stake pool. So that's basically it. So probably the best bet is just to go to the Sunday Swap website, read through the instructions, vote for your stake pool operator, and wait the 2-3 days to see who they've selected to distribute their tokens. And hopefully, we're hoping that, hopefully in this bull market, you're basically getting free coins. So hopefully it gets hyped, you're getting free coins, and then you sell them for some profit.
Okay.
So that's basically it. So if you have any other questions, happy to answer them. But I'm by no means an expert on Cardano or ADA or blockchain related stuff.
So we can simply say, Vick, this is it's same as ICO, IDO. It's kind of exactly the same thing. You simply bet on like a coin, then you're expecting it to go a lot higher so that you can sell and take some profit, right? Same, is that the same
Yeah,
thing?
correct. I mean, in a sense, we are getting some free coin. So
Okay.
I mean, if you have your ADA staked somewhere, I guess it may be worthwhile voting for your stake pool operator and hoping they get selected by Sunday Swap, because at least you get some free distributed coins. And obviously, with ADA, their marketing is great, and always these projects get a lot of hype. Being a DEX on Cardano, so we're hoping there'll be some hype. You're getting some free coins. So if you're already staking, it may be worthwhile to try and get some Sunday Swap tokens as well.
Okay. All right, Vick. Okay, Vick. Thanks for your info. So that's something we can look at. Like, I mean, if someone really wants, we can say, I mean, let's say even if it's like a ICO, like some type of coin, or like an IDO, even if it's like something new coin where you can, just you can bet maybe $100 to $200 on these kind of coins, right? And then not on these ICOs specifically, but any new coins that you feel like has a potential that will probably, I mean, as per they say, it might 10x, 20x, 30x. You can max bet maybe $100 to $200 to see what happens, right? Because we don't want to go all in for this kind of a coin and then just to realize, like, I mean, the thing is, after the ICO, after the ISO, coin might not perform as we wish, right? So we might not get enough returns from these investments. At the same time, there's an opportunity cost as well, because if you put a lot of money in these coins and if it's not going to do much for a long time, you would rather have that money on something like Bitcoin or Ethereum or some other large cap coin where you can at least make 20-30% or 2x 3x your money. So yeah, Vick, really appreciate your input. Okay, so looking at the topics, so the next one is, Chamira actually discussed about Fibonacci tool maybe like few weeks ago, and I just want to further discuss like how to use Fibonacci tool for a second entry. So for this, I'm gonna use Shiba Inu, but I mean, by no means I'm not trying to say like that we need to buy Shiba Inu also. I'm simply using this chart so that I can explain how to use the Fibonacci tool for a second entry. So let me share the screen first. Okay, so I hope this white background is not too bright, because the dark one, when I upload the video, I realized people can't see much, like, because it's kind of like too dark and then can't see the numbers and stuff. So that's why I've just switched off the dark mode. So I hope it's not too bright. So yeah, so if you look at Shiba Inu, so this is the Fibonacci tool. I've already used it. So simply maybe I can get rid of this and I can start from the beginning. So let's delete this. you just go here, and this is fib retracement on TradingView, right? TradingView.com right here, and then you click on this. And the next thing is we need to figure out the break. So as you can see right here, see, this is the breakout point. So I actually missed out on this one as well. I was holding some Shiba Inu, but then during the downturn, I just sold it, like, for a small profit. But then I just totally forgot about this coin. But kind of like I missed this whole bull run, this bull trend actually. So it's just like actually 9x or 10x like within few weeks. So we can see there's a really good resistance level right here. So let me just make it a little bit thinner. This is too thick. Yeah. So if you look at this blue line, let me just pull it out like that. Yeah. So have a look at this blue line, and as you can see, it's pretty obvious. It actually, this is like a resistance line. So it dropped, right? And then it was trying to break out above this level, which is like 950 or so, 950. I don't know how do you call this number, right? So 0.50 and 950. So it was trying to break 950 so many times, right? It dropped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So basically 6 to 7 times it was trying to break this 950 level. So that means there was enough time for us to get in. It has given us so much time for about 3 months. We had the chance to accumulate this coin below 950. And as soon as it broke 950, man, it just shot up like crazy, as you can see here. So when you do the, when we try to do the Fibonacci, when you use the Fibonacci tool, so let's say obviously we missed out buying it below 950, right? And now it's gone up so far. So then if you're looking for a second entry, right? And then even here, that would have been like a really good accumulation period over here, right? As you can see, because at the time we did not know that, right? Because it was a bit strict, risky to get in at this time, because you don't know this is going to happen. Because it's from 950, it pumped all the way like 3,500 or so. So let's say it just pumped like 3x or so. So you'll be like, or should I get in right now? You don't know that. So let's say you missed the whole run. So you did not buy below 950. You did not buy in this area right here. You did not buy in this area. And then next thing you know, it just pumped so much. So how, like, let's say Bitcoin keeps on that pumping, like, let's say we are still in a bull market and you expect Bitcoin to hit 100K next year or mid next year, something like that. Then, this coin has a probability like, to go a lot higher, right? I mean, by no means, I'm not asking anyone to buy Shiba Inu, but I'm just saying it could be any coin. So if you feel like Shiba Inu or any other coin has a future, might pump in the future, then you can use this Fibonacci tool to find out the next best entry point. So we have to start from this breakout point, which is like 950. So you go back to this trend line, there'll be 0 over there, right? And then from there, you go back up to the very top of the Vick, right? Okay. And then normally, right, when you see this kind of a massive pump, normally, we're not going to get in right here. This is the worst place to get in, right? We're not going to buy anywhere around this area, right? Because right? And if you look at the RSI, I can show it to you right now. Look at the RSI. So if you see RSI at like 91, I'm not even I'm not even touching it. And it dropped. Again, it went back up to 90, right? I'm not going to get in. But right now, if you look at it, just has RSI has cooled off a lot. It's sitting around like 50. So meaning this is not a bad time to accumulate, right? But I'm not saying, I'm not asking you to go all in, right? We can DC a little bit, but then how do you know, like just by looking at it, RSI is 50, or should I, what is the range? So that's where you can use this Fibonacci tool, which is like a very useful tool. As you can see here, I have this yellow area, right, as the reaccumulation area, right? You can reaccumulate in this area. So I'm expecting Shiba Inu to come back down below to these levels. Like normally, when you see this kind of a massive pump, like the coin that has gone up like 5, 6, 7, 8x or 10x likewise. Normally, they call this like golden retracement. So normally they expect the price, this price to retrace back down to 0.618 level, right? So 0.618 level is a golden retracement level, which like it has actually just dropped to this area recently. Like you can see, like this a week, but that's not good enough. It just went back up, right? So let's say we've seen like RSI is at 50. Let's say RSI dropped to like 30 or 20 or maybe around 40, 30 likewise. Then we might see this come back down slowly to this area. So within this area, right? 3,000, 4,000, sorry, 4,500 right here. You can see over there, like on the where this is where you can see the price. So 4,500 to 3,500 area, you can start accumulating if it comes over there. So this is how, that's why like the Fibonacci tool is really important. If you miss a massive pump, you can use a Fibonacci tool to get back in, trying to find like entry at a low level, and then you have the question: should I buy it over here, in this area, over there? How do you know? Like, but if you see it comes back down to 0.618 or closer to that area, you can start accumulating. But if it goes below 0.618 back down to 0.78868, that's even better, right? So it will probably come back down to retest this high right here, this accumulation period. So if it might, because here you can see there's no much support, it just went straight up. So normally when a coin goes straight up, it has to come back straight down. And 0.6, when it hits like 0.618, you can start accumulating until it drops back down to this area. It could come all the way back down this area to retest this support. So there's a lot of support right here around 3,100 mark. So I would say I would DCA, if you want to DCA, right? I mean, this could be any coin, right? It could be Shiba and it could be any other coin. If you see like a similar kind of pattern, you can use this Fibonacci tool. You can start accumulating from 3,000, 4,500 all the way back down to 3,000 level. So simply we DCA, we just buy, let's say you're planning to invest $1,000 into Shiba Inu. So you can just buy $100 worth of Shiba Inu at 4,500 and another $100 worth of Shiba Inu at 4K, 4,250, 3,750, 3,500, all the way back down to like 3,100, all the way back down to like 3,000 also. Even if it comes back to this level, you can still accumulate. As we discussed 2 weeks ago, say even though you are planning to invest $1,000, you're not going to go all in, right? You only invest 90%, so you still have $100 to $200, 80% also you can invest. So you have still $200 just in case if it breaks below this level and drops back down to like 0.786. So all the way from 4,500 down to 3,000 to 2,500 level. If it gets there, you can keep on accumulating this coin and expect higher prices, like the prices go a lot higher. And one more thing I need to add, lot of Ethereum holders, right? I've recently seen a video, and this is the third biggest coin that they hold. So, I mean, a lot of Ethereum holders, right? I mean, they are probably, you can call them whales. So they're expecting this, they expect this coin to like perform really well. Otherwise, why would they hold them, right? And then Link is another coin as well. So I've recently seen a few videos. So, but I just use this chart. I'm not this non-financial advice. I'm not asking anyone to buy this coin or anything. But if you do your due diligence and if you do your Fibonacci, you can use the Fibonacci tool. Anything below 4,500, you can keep on accumulating down to like 3,000. If it goes below, you can still accumulate down to like 2,600. I'm not asking you to buy this coin. This is what I would do looking at this kind of a chart. If I miss the whole run, if I miss the total run, this is what I would do. Yeah, so this is how to use Fibonacci tool. You can use this on any cryptocurrency. You can use this on shares. You can use this Fibonacci tool on any kind of a asset as long as it has a price action. And it's like a very, very useful tool. So that's the Fibonacci tool and how to use it like for a second entry or third entry likewise. Okay, so the next one would be, let me go back to our Telegram chat. Yeah, as you can see here, Fibonacci tool, second entry, we discussed that. Now we're going to look at gold and silver charts and Dow Jones and Bitcoin and altcoins. So, okay, so let's look at the gold chart. Let me share the screen. Okay, so gold is looking good at the moment. As you can see, we've seen like this is the weekly chart. So we've seen like in 2 weeks in a row, it just pumped a bit, right? And then as you can see, there's a clear trend line that it broke out actually. Like that. Okay, let me just clean all this. Yeah, okay, yeah, so now it's a little bit. Yeah, so as you can see here, there's a clear trend line likewise. So it broke out, which is something bullish, right? So we can call this is bullish. And I'm using this super trend tool and it says it's a buy at the moment. So things are looking good. So it broke out, but you know, the next, I mean, I hope like most of the time, like sometimes Bitcoin might not do that, but I might come back down to retest this level, this trend line, and then go back higher like that. So that's what it normally does. So if you've been holding gold, silver, or if you've been investing in gold shares or silver shares, or overall, it's good. Gold going up is like a good sign for overall commodity sector. So you will see the other commodities like copper, lithium, uranium. These shares will probably go up as well. And you see gold going a lot higher on platinum as well. So gold is looking good at the moment. So if you've been buying gold and silver for the past few years or so, and then if you've been investing in the gold share market, mining companies or silver mining companies, things are looking good. But we have to wait and see whether we don't want this one to be like a fake bull trap or like a fake out, where it looks as if it had like a proper breakout, but next thing you know, it just comes back down. Like for example, let me just get rid of this. Yeah. So sometimes what happens, it breaks out, but then after some time it breaks back below this trend line, and then again, yeah, back to square one, right? And then if it goes and breaks below this level right here, which is like 1679, that'll be really bearish. So we expect like a lot lower price. But given that there's a lot of inflation, when you hear people talking about inflation, people go into gold just as like monetary insurance, because the central banks keeps on printing a lot of money. So as a hedge against that, people would love to hold physical gold and silver. It's in your hand, unlike Bitcoin and shares and likewise. So gold price is looking good at the moment. So we have to wait and see. And we can also have a look at the gold silver ratio, which is also good. A pretty good tool that I use. Yeah, so this is the gold and silver ratio. So as I said, mentioned the other day, if you see higher prices for gold and silver ratio over here, that's when you buy silver. You buy silver over here, right? And if you see lower prices around this area, this is where you buy gold. So yeah, lower price. So it's kind of low at the moment. If you look at the RSI, the RSI high here, this is where you buy silver. RSI low in these areas. You know, right now it's at like a midpoint, so you can buy whatever you can buy with silver or gold. Does not really matter. So people use this chart like to swap silver to gold, gold to silver, or to accumulate gold and silver. Looking at this chart, it's a very useful chart as well. Yeah, so that's gold and silver. So let's quickly look at the Dow Jones. Dow Jones. Dow Jones. Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, right? Economy is not looking good, but who cares, right? Market is keeps going higher. It keeps on making higher highs, higher lows. So we have to come. This is a weekly chart, so it's looking really bullish. I mean, looking at this, we've seen a bit of a retrace. Like we've seen like a bigger like green candle, and then last week it dropped back to maybe retest this level. But looking at the trend, unless we see a bigger correction, like I mean, last week I think I mentioned next week we might see like a red candle. So that's what we've seen because it's so extended. And even if you see here, the RSI just went up and then it's kind of like cooling down a bit. So this is good. Like as long as we see higher prices for Dow Jones, Nasdaq, and S&P 500, that's good for Bitcoin price and other altcoins, right? So we don't want to see a share market goes down like 20-30%, and then like that will be like a deflationary event where everybody is looking for US dollar, and then if US dollar goes up, the party is over. All the asset classes against US dollar will go down. So when US dollar goes down, Bitcoin, gold, silver, everything goes down against the dollar because it's inversely correlated to the US dollar. So share market is looking good. If you look at the daily, let's look at the daily chart. It was kind of extended last week, as we discussed. It was kind of extended. As you can see, the RSI hit about like 72 or so, and now it has come back down, and then yeah, it's cooled off a bit, like drop back down to like 55, so which is good. And now it seems like it's gonna come back to retest, but it has to hold this level. So it has to hold 35,630. If it holds that, then we can shoot a lot higher from there. So economy is going down the drain, but doesn't matter, right? Who cares? They can make money from the share market. So as I mentioned last week, the economy and the share market is not related anymore. Like that's changed, like way back, probably like 10 years ago. It changed. Like you look at the economy and you look at the personal finances, and you tend to predict, okay, because the personal finances are really good, we expect the share market to go up. Not the case anymore, right? Personal finances could be like going down the drain, people could be struggling, but it doesn't matter, like it's share market will always go up. So that's what we're seeing right now. Even there's like a buy signal right here. After that, we haven't seen like a sell signal. So according to this indicator, we could see higher prices for Dow Jones. So which is a good thing for Bitcoin, given that we invested a lot of money in Bitcoin and share cryptocurrencies. This is exactly what we want to see. But we don't want to see Dow Jones break this level. And one more thing, if you look at the seasonality, right, they call it the Halloween effect from October 31st to December 31st. This time period, back in the history is an indication. We've seen a higher prices for the share market, and in fact for gold and not for gold and silver, for Bitcoin as well. So the Halloween effect plus until March. Sometimes it might last until March 31st. That's what we've seen in the past. So Halloween effect plus the first couple of months, Christmas and all this might push the market a bit higher. Like, you know, I mean, because that's what has happened in the past. I mean, it doesn't mean it's a guarantee that will happen definitely. So if that happens, it's good. Like, you know, so we just want to see higher Bitcoin prices. So we might see that. Yeah, so that's Dow Jones. So we looked at gold and silver, and the next one would be, yeah, Bitcoin. No, yeah, let's look at Bitcoin right now. So, yeah, so Bitcoin, it's, you know, as we know, it's very hard to predict. Like, I mean, this is the Bitcoin chart. So yeah, according to this uptrend, super trend indicator, we are still at a buy. So the trend is bullish on daily. But I just want to have a look at this weekly chart, because so today is Sunday. So tomorrow we'll see like a new weekly candle for Bitcoin. But there's a bit of a worry, because see, we don't want to see a candle like this. This if you see a candle like this, it's a bit bearish type of a candle, because we have like a massive wick and then small body around the bottom. That means like a trend. It could be like a trend reversal, like, you know, weekly terms. This is a weekly chart. That means there's a lot of selling pressure. That means the thing is, even though the price went all the way up to 68, 800, 69 also, there's a lot of selling pressure. So people sold all the way from 68 back down to 64. So we don't want to see this sort of a candle. Like, so in the next few hours or so, if we see a bit higher prices up to like somewhere over here, and then if we see a candle something similar to this one right here, like, so most of the candle is like green instead of like, you know, massive big and like a small green down the bottom. Then that could be a better candle that we might see. But given that the seasonality, the Halloween effect, we might see this might not be a problem. But on the weekly chart, it's not looking good, because we can check in the past, we've seen like similar candles, and after that we've seen like, you know, a bigger correction. So for example, we can have, I mean, it's not a guarantee again. So have a look at this one right here, right? Look at this candle. See, it's a weekly candle, and we've seen a massive sell-off. It just went up to like 14,000, and it dropped below like 10,700, right, end of the week. And after that, look what we've seen, right? We've seen the price went down, because it's kind of like a, so we've seen this candle, and then we've seen price drop. This is the COVID dump, so it might not happen right now. I'm not expecting that to happen. So we've seen like a bit of a correction. So it happens in like months, right? It's not, this is like a weekly chart. So we've seen this candle on June 24th, 2019. And then we've seen, let's not go this far. Let's say up to, let's go up to here, because this is like something that we did not predict. So from June 24th to November, so June, July, August, September, October, like next 3 to 4 months, it just kept on going down. So if you look at the price drop, so after that candle, we've seen a 50% correction, right? I mean, I'm not trying to say it's going to happen. There's a probability it could happen, right? We are talking about possibilities. A possibility, yes. It's probable, yes, right? Because it has happened in the past. Who knows? I mean, it could go the other way. We might see a similar candle, and then we might see a lot higher prices. That could happen as well, but the probability is less. That's what I'm trying to say. So there's a similar candle over here. See right here. Similar candle over here. See, it's exactly similar, right? A lot of sell-off. And next thing we know, we just dropped so much. After that candle close, we dropped about and what's going on with this? Yeah, there you go. See again, 50%, right? I mean, so I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's a bit of a worry, right? So that's another. I'll give a few examples. I've seen another one somewhere here. Yeah, I haven't seen it. It's not there actually. I haven't seen that. Yeah, so as I said, it's not, just because it's not 100% guaranteed, because sometimes you've seen, yeah, even here, there's another something similar. This is like very short term, it happened like in a week. This candle right here, something similar, and we've seen about 30% correction. So given that the market is so bullish, we might not see a 50% correction, I would say. But even if it happens, let's be prepared, right? I mean, no big deal, right? I mean, let's not go all in right now. So we have some, that's why I said, like, always have some USDT just in case. So if this kind of a scenario, you can just simply accumulate more Bitcoin. There's no problem, right? So either way, you are fine. If it goes up, that's fine. You got enough Bitcoin and other Ethereum and other altcoins. If it goes down, still it's okay, right? Because you have enough USDT to get back in. So that's something I want to point out. Yeah, but the thing is, what I noticed, like, nobody wants to sell, because if everybody's expecting to see 100K Bitcoin in December, nobody's going to sell any Bitcoin right now. So that's what I've realized. But what happens after December? This is the problem. Let's say Bitcoin is not going to hit 100K in December, right? For me, I feel like it's less likely right now to see 100K Bitcoin in December, because it's almost mid-November now. So we have about like 6 weeks. So for the next 6 weeks, Bitcoin has to pump from 64 to about like 36,000, need to go up by $36,000 US. The question is, what if it's not going to happen in December? So everybody's expecting it, and it might not happen. So then maybe towards the next year, either Bitcoin drops right now back down to like 53, something like that, and then consolidate around that area. So first quarter of January, then we might see, it's good for the market. It'll probably shake out all the weak hands, like, people like weak hands, because there's a lot of over bullishness right now. We need to flush that out to have like, and then we can start again. Either Bitcoin does that, or worst case scenario, if we see a bigger correction, then the likelihood of we seeing higher Bitcoin prices, like a parabolic top for Bitcoin, it could be next year, right? It could be second to third quarter, if we are lucky in first to second quarter, something like that. That is what I expect. But that's fine, right? I mean, it's not like 5 years from now. Like, if we are in, we can keep on accumulating Bitcoin and other altcoins and expect it to go a lot higher next year. So there's no big deal. We are not in a hurry. So that's the Bitcoin price. So any questions you have regards to Bitcoin price? This is just a weekly chart. We can look at the daily chart later on. The only question I had, like, we had like a steep pump. This pump is a lot steeper compared to this one. This blue line right here, the second blue line is a lot steeper. So since then we haven't seen like, a proper correction. So that's why I would expect at least Bitcoin can come back down to 53, right? And then there'll be like a bit of a shakeout for a lot of people, because people would not expect that, and turn the fear and greed index back down to like neutral to fear, right? Or best case scenario, extreme fear. If you see extreme fear in fear and greed, that's really good, because that means like people are getting scared and then people are selling and get out of the market. So then we can, if we see that for the next 3 to 6 months, we can see we can start again and go for like 100K or something like that. So that's what. Yeah.
Can I ask a quick question? Did you put this into Fibonacci? Is that how you got this? These figures, or can you put it to Fibonacci, and so we can see where we're falling and where we should go in the future, if that's the case?
Yeah. So let's start from this swing low, the green candle, up all the way back up to, yeah, that was a good one actually. So yeah, we better look at this one. Yes. So yeah, so if you look at 0.618, that's at 50,000, right? I mean, if that happens, when all coins will bleed a lot harder, right? So that's the this is from the 30K, right? If you just check, so let's say someone could not get in at 30K. If you start from here to there, if you want to get back in, the ideal place would be like 51,000. Will it get there? We have to wait and see. If not, we can raise it up to this swing low, where we've seen like a 50 correction from 52 and back down to 40K. So we're gonna use this Fibonacci, start the Fibonacci level from 40K, not from 30K. If that's the case, 618 would be 51,000. Is that correct? What did we get here? Oh no, yeah. So if you put it, start from 30K, right? 28, the low that we've seen, you're looking at 618 at 44. So that's, I mean, that's below that's like retesting 200-day moving average, right? Which is not too bad, right? But if that happens, all coins will bleed a lot harder, right? If you see this, Bitcoin comes back down to 45. This is where the bull band support for bull market support is at 45K. But if you start from 40K, still, if you see it comes back down to like 50K, that's not bad, right? But we don't want this one to go below 53 because we are expecting like we are seeing an Elliott wave right here. So for example, let's say this is 1, and then, so sorry, this is 1, and then this is 2 Elliott wave, then we see the third wave, right? So I don't know how far it would go, and then we see another correction, that'll be the fourth wave, and the last wave would be like fifth wave. But if that's the case, we don't want to see this price below comes back below 52. So probably in the future, like probably next week or week after, also we can discuss about Elliott waves. So this is something to do with Elliott waves. So yeah, using Fibonacci, yes, if it comes back down to 53, there's no harm, right? We are still in a bull market, no problem. So we can also look at the daily chart and then look at the bull market support. Just get rid of this one. Let's do this. Yeah, so let me switch on the 200-day moving average. It's already there. Yeah, so this, okay, let me change the color because you can't, I don't think you can see it. Let me change it to black. Okay, so this is the bull band. Let me just make it a little bit thicker. Just give me a sec, please. Yeah, there you go. That's better. Okay, so this black line is the 200-day moving average, which is at 45,861. So as we've seen before, if you see, if you do the Fibonacci from 30,000, the 0618 would be at coming back to retest. Then he has to come back and retest this line right here, right? Which is not a bad thing, like, no, but it's not going to be good for all coins. Let's say we start from here. Yeah, so Fibonacci 618 would be 44. That means it'll probably come back down to retest this black line right here. That's the 200-day moving average. So anything about this 200-day moving average, we're in a bull market. Below will be in a bear market. So that's the standard. So we can also look at the 21-week moving average, which is we can call it a bull band support as well. The next support up. So we have to go here, input, and then change it to 21. So now this is the weekly average, 21, and then it becomes 21 weekly moving average. So that is at 47. So 46 to 47, that's where we have our support. So given that there's so much of greed, maybe this is what we need, right? We need, probably Bitcoin has to come back down to retest 21-week moving average and also 200-day moving average. And if that happens, then that will flush a lot of, bullishness out of the market. Fear and greed will probably see like neutral to fear, extreme fear. Then it's perfect, right? So we can start again, and then we can go for like, a lot higher prices. So we might see this, like this probably this could happen. But right now it's kind of, Bitcoin is tired, like it's kind of hard to push above these levels. We've seen like mini pumps, like, $1,000, $2,000 pump, but it won't last long. Like it does that, and a few days after it's disappeared and then it goes away, right? So that's what we're seeing. So when we see that, I would rather see a bigger correction, right? Not a bear market, like a bigger correction back down to 200-day moving average, 21-week moving average. Then we can start back again, right? Everybody will, like, the over bullishness will be out of the market. So that's not a good, not a bad thing actually. I would like to see that, and then we can, next year maybe you can go for like 100K. But right now 100K in December, I don't think so. Like, the probability, I could be wrong, but the probability is less. It's like, the probability is getting less and less, like, the day, closer we get to December. Okay, so that's Bitcoin is done. Any altcoins you guys want? Any questions so far? Regards to anything, like, it could be gold, silver, anything likewise. So
can you please have a look at link?
Okay, link, yes. Okay, so this is link. Let's go to 200, change it to 200. Yeah, so this is what we drawn like last time. Yeah, so we're still waiting for that pump. Like, things are looking really good. Like you can see, like a big cup and handle also looking good, but I think it needs more time. Like, it's just because it's been bleeding against Ethereum. So this is the USDT chart for link. I think it needs more time because it's maybe now it's I would like to see it's the bit in between 32 to 36. I don't want link to go down below 32. It's not looking good if that happens. That means Bitcoin is trying. If Bitcoin tests 200-day moving average or 21-week moving average, of course, then we will see link will drop back down to this ascending triangle. To simply come back down to this ascending triangle and then consolidate in this area, or it could drop even lower like that. And then if that happens, what we have to do, if that happens, we have to change the trend line like that. So if it drops below 32 and comes back into this triangle, we can just simply make the triangle a little bit bigger. That means it takes a little bit longer. If that's the case, then it will come back down to this triangle and do another touch and then do that and then break out like that. So if that happens, you're looking at like another few months of consolidation, because consolidation, if Bitcoin comes back to retest 200-day moving average, then all coins will bleed a lot harder. And then the only thing is we have to wait a little bit longer, right? I mean, I'm not expecting a massive full-blown bear market right now. The only thing is, and it's good for the market as well, if we see like a big correction back down to test the support for Bitcoin, we probably have to wait another 3 to 6 months, maximum, like maximum 3 months. I mean, worst case scenario, 6 months. So November, December, January, February, like let's say we might see 100K Bitcoin if it happens in September, October next year. So worst case scenario is we have to wait for some time. So this is, so it depends on all coins, right? It depends on what Bitcoin does, right? There's no way in the world, there's like a higher, like less probability that less likely when Bitcoin is going down to like to retest 44,000, 45,000, link will like, keep going on to like, and test all time highs. I've never seen that. So this is link against USDT. And if you look at link against ETH, oh man, it's, as you can see, it's kind of looking good now. In a daily chart, it's consolidating, right? It's not dropping a lot lower, so which is a good thing. So that means link is holding up really well. Yeah, so you can see from here, it's a lot steep, right? Like that. And then the next one, it's going like that, which is not too bad, right? And now this is against Ethereum. It's kind of like going like that, which is really good. So against Ethereum, we can see it's looking good. So maybe next time we want to see something like this, right? So yeah, against Ethereum, we want to see, I mean, it's not going to be like a straight line like this, of course. So it'll be like this, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, likewise. But we know the overall trend is up. So it kind of like, trying to go back up against Ethereum. This is the against Ethereum chart. And then we might see probably a lot higher prices. The next one would be like something like this, something like that. It makes sense, right? So yeah, so it's a nasty correction against Ethereum, right? Look at here, like all the way from the top. Jesus, like, I mean, it bled against Ethereum so much. So that's why it's like over here, it's really bad. So just give me a second. I need to get my charger.
So I guess, sorry guys.
Go on. I can hear you.
Yeah, so by saying bad, so people would understand this, what you mean is actually it's a good opportunity for us to buy against Ethereum.
Yeah, against Ethereum, yes. But let's not forget.
Yes.
Let's not forget. But we are not using Ethereum to buy this, right? So let's not forget that.
Yeah.
So for example, if someone
so just quick question. By saying bad, what do you mean by bad? It went bad in the sense it went low, but what do you mean by bad? Can you just give a little bit of emphasis on that, please?
So you mean according to this chart? You're talking about
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, yes. So you said how it went really bad here. By saying bad, can you just emphasize a little bit for these
Okay.
people
Yeah.
here?
That's a good question, because see, the only reason we buy all coins, right? Like the reason, like we discussed, we need to have at least 50 to 60% in Bitcoin, maybe 20 to 30% in Ethereum, right? So, but the only reason we go for all coins like this, right? Just to make more money, simple as that, right? That's why we buy all coins, right? Otherwise everyone can just buy Bitcoin and we don't need to buy any other all coins. The thing is, buying these all coins, there's a lot of risk. As you can see here, you would rather hold all this time, you would rather hold Ethereum other than holding Link. So if someone's been holding Link from 10th of August 2020 to right now, you just probably lost a lot of money, even compared to USDT, right? Instead of Ethereum. So the point is, instead of Link in this period, right? Let me just, in this period from here. Yeah, so in this period, right? This period in red, it dropped against Ethereum. This Link dropped like 86 points. You would rather hold Ethereum than holding Link. So against Ethereum, you just lost 86%. So in that kind of scenario, you would rather hold Ethereum.
So Lakal, my question would be, for someone who's in now, at this moment, as we speak, what would be your advice?
So someone like trying to invest money right now in Link, is that what you're saying?
Oh, no, whatever. It can be investing, it can be selling, whatever that is. So looking at the chart, I know it fell down. So it's better to have Ethereum rather than Link. So what do we take out of this chart?
Oh, yeah. See, this is the past, right? I just said like maybe for the past 1 year, if you've been holding Link, but right now that it's a total different picture, right? So right now, this is the past, like, this is finished, right? So right now we are right here. This is where we are. So let me just draw this. So this is exactly where we are, right here. All this is just the past. Everything from here to here, right? This is the past. So we're not worried, right? If you are, this is the past. Hopefully I can draw it like that. Okay, so that's the past. I mean, so if someone's been holding Link from July 2020, it's not a really good investment against Ethereum, right? Because this is the against Ethereum chart. But right now, it looks like it tries to consolidate against ETH, right? So from here onwards, so this one right here, from here to here, this is the future. So future is looking not too bad.
So we can DCA if we want.
Yeah. If you can DCA, but let's not forget, depends on what Bitcoin does, right? Because for someone who's holding a lot of Ethereum, if he wants to DCA back into Link from Ethereum, it's the perfect time. But unfortunately, for us, that's not what we're doing. Right? We're using USDT to get in.
Yeah,
so that's the difference. So same with BTC. So if someone's holding a lot of Link BTC, this one. So if someone's holding, say you have like, you are quite happy with your Bitcoin holdings, right? So right now against BTC, Link is looking good because it's consolidating. So this is a better chart, like it's better than ETH. So right here you can see it just made a higher low compared to here. Against BTC made a higher low, which is a good thing, right? So it's consolidating against Ethereum, against BTC, not going down so much. Against Ethereum, it's kind of like, it's curving, like, trying to go back up or consolidate against ETH. So it's okay. Like no link, it's not too bad. Like not
So
bad.
it's like to profit maximization, we can set, I mean, this is a hypothetical situation, obviously, when it's not a financial advice.
Yeah.
Right. So in a hypothetical situation,
Yeah.
one can allocate, say, 5% or 1% of their BTC or ETH to link to get more profit out of that. Is that correct, or am I going to right?
Yeah, you can do that, but let's not forget, right? Everything depends on Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin is kind of like, if you feel like Bitcoin is going to come back to 44,000 to retest, that's why we can DCA. We can DCA link, no financial advice. We can DCA ETH. There's no problem. Sorry, link. There's no problem. But if Bitcoin comes back to retest bull support, this gonna
bleed more.
Bleed more, definitely. So that's that. Anything else? Anyone want to discuss?
How about Cardano?
Okay, ADA. Okay, let's have a look at the ADA. ADA. Yeah, this is again, it's consolidating. So just making it. Yeah, so as you can see, like it just pumped before, just pumped a lot, and then it came back down to retest the 200-day moving average, which is somewhere over here. And because as you can see here, it just went far away from 200. It was somewhere, it was on 200-day moving average. And after that, it just pumped so much, like so much far away from 200-day moving average, and came back down to say hi, right? Again, it's doing the same thing. It has already done that, because we can see here it has done it twice. Just come back and just to say hi, how are you, something like that, and already it has done once. It came back down to say hi to 200-day moving average. Now maybe they will come back down for the second time to say bye and just go a lot higher, just like this. Look at this run. So it has gone from here, retest. Again, depends on what Bitcoin does, right? So no guarantees. If Bitcoin just scrap the bet or something like that, forget it. That's a 200% pump after testing 200-day moving average. So it tested 200-day moving average once, but that's just a week, just like here, not enough. Maybe it'll probably come back down slowly. Let's say Bitcoin goes back to 44, 45 to retest a bull band support band, bull market support band. Then this might come slowly like that, and then meanwhile 200-day moving average goes up like that. It comes back down, cross somewhere over here. So yeah, it could drop back down to 190 or something like that. But yeah, you can accumulate for long term. DCA, you can DCA, no problem. You can DCA this one all the way from $2 to 190 or something. And like hopefully Bitcoin will not, like even if Bitcoin comes back down to retest bull, like say it comes back down to 53, we are still in a bull market, no problem. Yes, this is okay, right? We are still in a bull market, all coins will pump. So then we might see it drops to like 190, you can DCA, right? I think we discussed a few weeks, last week or week before, yeah, last week maybe, around this level, we discussed maybe it's a good time to DCA and it pumped, right? You could have taken some profit out if you're trading, otherwise you can still hold it. Even if you see it comes back down to retest this one, you can keep on DCAing, no problem. Given that Bitcoin's gonna go down, because let's say I have like 70 to 80%, 70 to 80%, I believe the bull market is not over yet, because we're talking about diminishing returns and lengthening cycles. So if that's the case, like we'll see a lot higher prices. We need to see a lot of high prices. If the history is any indication, not this year, next year. So we might see like a flush out to take this over bullishness out of the market and then start again. That's what we need. Like we need like a restart, you know. If that's the case, yeah, we can, you know, the only thing is we probably have to wait for 3 to 6 months extra. That's all good, right? We can do that. So that's Cardano. So this is, it looks okay.
Can we look at LTC?
Yeah, LTC. Yep, yep. Well, I'll quickly look at this one. Avex. Yeah, so this pumped a lot actually, right? There's a huge bearish divergence on RSI. And what about, oh, where's the, okay, I need to change this one, hold on. Change the color. No. Black. Yeah. No. Yeah, you guys can see this, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So see, there's resistance on RSI trying to break resistance. So if it breaks above this RSI, like this trend line, it'll be perfect. Then we'll see. I mean, it's already like, you know, it's. I mean, this is. Let's not forget, this is massive bearish divergence. Look at that. This is price is going higher, RSI is going lower. So either we need to see it breaks this RSI, this trend, and go up higher, like, you know, maybe 60, 70, 80, likewise. Then this bearish divergence will be negated. Otherwise, we need to have a correction. I mean, for me, it's not a bad time to take profits. It's a good time to take profits, like, you know, maybe take 10, 20, DCSL, simply DCSL and take profit. And can you do something like that? No. Yeah, so maybe there's bit of resistance on this area. Yeah, so from previous high, yeah, maybe there's resistance. So it's just trying to break above this line, but it's extended, I guess. Pretty good. I don't hold this coin actually. It's pretty much extended, so it's a good time to take profit. Even the MACD is looking still bullish. There's a little bit of room. We haven't seen it. Like if you see it comes back, this black line just drops back and it comes back down. That kind of like that, and then this one turns around like that, and then they cross like that, then they'll be bearish. But right now we don't see. Maybe, but man, this I won't be greedy right now. I'll take, if you hold this coin, take profits, and no need to sell. I think, see, it's $96 right now, so 100 mark is a psychological mark. It'll be hard to break it, so it'll probably try to break it like few times. So yeah, like you can take some profit, and if it comes back down to retest these levels like 75 or something like that, you can get back in something like that. But I won't be greedy. I'll just take, like, right now, if you've been holding this coin, like say around $30 to $40-50 or so, or even before that, I would simply take like 30-40% profit easy right now. I wouldn't hesitate, like, you know, I wouldn't be greedy. Because let's not forget, if Bitcoin drops back down to retest bull market support band, this will be done, right? It will come back down, like, you know, just like Solana. This is looking similar to Solana. This is exactly what Solana did. Bearish divergence kept on going up, and it from 230 came all the way back down to about 130 or something. So maybe this line, it might come back and retest this 200-day moving average. You know, maybe it might do that, but right now I won't be greedy. I'm not saying happens. So, but the thing is, if Bitcoin drops, yeah, then this part is over. Okay, let's look at our Litecoin right now. Yeah, so this is consolidating. As you can see, man, this had like a monster pump, right? We discussed this like long time, like a few months ago. I actually looked at the video like a couple of days ago when it was there was like a head and bullish head and inverse head and shoulders pattern somewhere over here, and then this just gone up like crazy. And right now it's consolidating, so there's a bit of room. I mean, yeah, RSI kind of like dropped, so I would like to see RSI come back down to like maybe 60 to 50 or so. So it has to consolidate for more, maybe another a week or so, and then we might see RSI cools off a bit and then comes back down to 50 or something again. Then we have more firepower to pump a lot higher. So let's not forget it recently hit $300, and then there's a lot of resistance in this area, but above that there's not much resistance, right? So has it ever gone? We go to like weekly chart. Yeah, remember someone, yeah, so yeah, the all-time highs is at like what, $400. So it's not far away from all-time highs. And then on the weekly chart, man, this is really bullish. This W right here, this W pattern. On the weekly chart, if you see W pattern, normally when it breaks this neckline, right here would have been like as you can see, there's consolidation in this area. So around 130 would have been like a really good entry point. And you can see it just bounced to like $400 and came all the way back down, gave all that profit, and then back down to like where it started. And right now there's a bigger pattern. So let's forget about the W pattern. Now we have a cup and handle, massive cup, and a handle, like another small cup, I would say. So this is looking good. I think Litecoin has been there for, it's like a fork of Bitcoin. Has been there for a long time. It's a very popular coin. So this will do really well in the future. And weekly RSI, it's not gone up too high, so it's like around 62 or something. So Litecoin, yeah, it's not looking good. Again, hopefully Bitcoin is not gonna go crazy, right? As long as crazy means like to the downside. So apart from that, yeah, Litecoin is like I'm actually will probably accumulate, financial advice, but I will accumulate. I mean, I might not buy Litecoin, but I would buy like a leverage token. So I can make like this magnified gains. So I just bought some around this area. Like I got into like a leverage token around this area before this spike, and I took some profit around this area, and then go back into Matic or something like that. But yeah. So yeah, this daily chart has to cool off a bit. So Litecoin is looking all right. Again, I would buy and hold, but yeah, a lot of upside. Like let's say you buy Litecoin right now for the next 12 months, no problem, right? Not like trying to make quick money in few months. Buy Litecoin and hold it, like and make sure you have Bitcoin and Ethereum, plus you accumulate Litecoin DCA. So next year when Bitcoin goes a lot higher, yeah. But I would like to see a bit of a correction, 30-40% correction, so we can start again. Okay, so that's and again, okay, yeah, metaverse. Let me discuss, talk about a few coins. So metaverse is the future, right? And Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, he changed his logo to Meta, so he knows what's going to happen. So it's going to be big. So these coins, Hero, right? Okay, so these coins, you can buy them on KuCoin exchange, KuCoin exchange right here. So it's they recently added these coins. So that's why you don't see, we might not see a lot of data. Like Bitcoin drops, they'll come down a lot harder. But we can DCA, like for no financial advice, we can DCA. DCA, this is Hero, right? One of the most popular ones. Like, I've seen a lot of people on TikTok talking about this. AI, multiverse, it's called multiverse. So this one, if anyone wants, you can accumulate this one, no financial advice, right? It just extend a little bit, maybe, yeah, not really. Like it might come back down to this 200-day moving average or so, but we can DCA, right? We can DCA, no problem, right? No financial advice. And Red Fox, this one recently pumped a lot. I was thinking of buying, this is Metaverse as well, Metaverse coin. And I was thinking of buying it at $11, but and then it shot up to like 17, and now it's consolidating. So, and the RSI, yeah, this one has to cool off a bit. It's kind of like too much, like extended a bit too much. Red Fox, that's one of the coins. See, all these coins are on KuCoin, so you can open up an account on KuCoin. And then there's one more. Yeah, block. Yeah, man, this coin had so much volume. I was like, even like one of the Metaverse tokens that had more volume than any other Metaverse token, Block USDT. It's called Blocktopia. This is on Polygon chain. So this is not on ER. It's not a ERC20 token. So Hero, it's on Binance chain, right? It's not a ERC20 token. AI is a ERC20 token, so you can send it to your Trezor. This one you have to have a MetaMask and link your Ethereum address to Binance Smart Chain, and then you can send it to your MetaMask. But you open up your MetaMask using your Trezor, right? Don't leave it online. And Block USDT, yeah, this one is on Polygon chain, so you can still add Polygon chain to your MetaMask, and then you can send those coins to there, but you have access only via your Trezor wallet, so which is good, right? That's the way it should be. Red Fox, I did not buy anything, so I'm not too sure about this one, but this is a really popular Metaverse token as well. Yeah, so those are the old coins. Yeah, and then this one right here, if you know, this is I mean, it's been in the market for like few days. It's called Rivian. Like, you've seen like electric trucks. So they make electric trucks, and I think Amazon is part of it too. So this is like the only competitor to Elon, right? Tesla. So it opened up recently, but this is not a cryptocurrency. You have to buy it on like a share or like on eToro or something like that, or maybe it's on Bittrex. I'll just give it a check. You can buy these coins on Bittrex as well. A lot of share tokens you can buy on Bittrex. It's like Tesla, you can buy it on Bittrex. So if you want, you can look at it as well. It's like a competitor to Tesla. So this is the only competitor to Tesla at the moment. But during IPO, there's a lot of hype, like and then as soon as you have it on the exchange, it'll pump the price for a few days or maybe a week or so, and then all the investors who bought it like a long time ago, like who invested like few years ago, they'll just dump it on the market. So, and then I'm not going to get in right now. I'll just keep it on my watch list. I will keep an eye on it. And this is something I would like to add. This is not a cryptocurrency, it's a share, because we totally missed the Tesla bull run, right? So for someone who missed the Tesla, because electric cars is the future, right? It's not going to change, I think. Even though the petrol price is going to go up a lot higher, we can expect that the government will push people to use electric cars in the future. So then this would be like a really good investment, a long-term investment. If I buy this, I'll just hold it for like next 5 years or so. No more than that. And then if I see, I'm waiting for like a good entry point. There's not enough data. I would like to see it come back below $100, and then I just buy and hold. So it's called Rivian Automotive. It's on NASDAQ. Okay, so that's some altcoins, and then that's just a bit of a description about Rivian Automotive. If you want to accumulate that coin, I'm just gonna accumulate. And then, for example, remember Coinbase, right? When they list Coinbase share on NASDAQ, I'll show you the chart. See what happened. So, I mean, I don't know whether the same thing might happen to Rivian, right? Because it seems like it's going the other way. So maybe there's a lot of demand for this electric, electric cars. So that's why maybe it's going higher. But right now, Coinbase, it dropped. Like when it first came, it was around like 430, and then you can see it drop all the way back down to like 50% drop. So hopefully that will happen to Rivian, and then we can accumulate maybe around like $50, $60, $70, something like that. So this is what happens to IPOs. Like the first day it dumps and it keeps on dumping, and then it's consolidated, and now it's gone back up. So this would have been like a really good area for us to buy Coinbase, like this area right here. Okay, so yeah, so if you don't have any other questions, do you have any other questions? Any coins you want to look at?
No, good for me.
Okay. Anyone else got any questions you guys have? Do you guys have any other questions? If not, we can just call it a day. It's a pretty good session again, I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay then. So if you're not in my group, please join my Telegram group. It's Diversified Finance. You can go and look for it. Yeah, so what I would do, I'll just edit this video maybe tonight or tomorrow if I have time, and then I'll probably post it like on my group. So you can go through, and then if you want more information, you can go through replay, and then like you can just go through what we discussed today. So guys, and then so you don't have any other questions, right? No, any other altcoins you want to look at? Okay, all right then. Okay, guys, so let's call it a day. I appreciate your time, and then thanks to Vick and Shihan for the input. So let's call it a day, and then I'll probably see you next Sunday. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.